Had a friend come by today, and he told me, he said, "You still doing Bigfoot stuff?" I said, yeah, I still I do a lot. I don't upload a lot. I got piles and piles of videos I need to upload. I'm just so tied up, too tied up to get the editing done. But he goes, Dirt Dauber. He goes, man, he goes, I run into one of these things. I said, really? He said, yeah, back in hunting season. He said, right, probably about 4 or 5 miles over here. He said, I was bow hunting during deer season. And he goes, I was sitting in my tree stand. I was about 30 feet up in the air. He said, I kept hearing something off in the distance. And he said, I sat there and I kept looking and looking. He said, it was just getting daylight. He said, I thought it was a buck or a doe coming in. He said, but it didn't sound like a buck or a doe. He said it sounded like a human. He goes, well, it's either a deer, a hog, or somebody trekking through the woods to go to their stand, because it's wildlife management area. There's not supposed to be nobody on top of you, but a lot of people don't go check in. So, I mean, you don't know who's already out there, because this is Alabama. People just don't care. And he goes, it cracked daylight and I could still hear it. He said, about 45 minutes after daylight, he said, it was a little foggy. He said, I could see something over beside a tree about 70 yards away. And he said, it almost looked like a bear. He said it was down on all fours. He said he watched it for about 10 minutes and it stood up. He said he guessed it would be about 8.5 foot tall. And he said it scared him real bad. He wet his pants. Well, it walked towards him. He said it got within probably 20 feet. And he said, looked at the bottom of the ladder and just looked up and just sit there and looked at him for probably 2 minutes. He didn't have any gun because he's not allowed to carry one. He's got a felony from back when he was like 18. He's like 56 now. And I think it was something to do with a check or some kind of bad check. But he said, I didn't know whether to draw back or what. He said, but the thing was, I couldn't draw back. He said, I was so scared that I was scared to move. He said, it's like my whole body locked up. I didn't have any power to move my arms and draw back. And he goes, if I did shoot it, I was afraid that it would snatch me down out of the stand. He said, and I was scared I was going to get snatched down out of the stand anyway. He said, but I didn't want to make it mad. He said it didn't look mad. He said it looked like it was wondering what was going on and what I was doing up there. He said after he got done, right at the end, the thing pointed up at him, held his hand up like this, and turned around and walked away. I was like, it's a crazy story. And I asked him what he looked like, and he described the male that hangs out here. He's between 8 and 9 foot tall. And I said, well, I got one about that size here. I said, and they're all pretty friendly. I said, but he's never stuck his hand up and waved. And I said, he's looked like he's pointed at me a couple times, but never threw his hand up and waved. And you know, that kind of gave me hope that these things are kind of, they learn from other things. I mean, look at the teepee structures. You know, they got them from the Indians. I mean, there's no other explanation for it. I mean, of course, they could have come up with it on their own, but if you think about it, they was around when these Indians were making teepees. And I'm sure they pass it from generation to generation, just like they do hunting. You know, they learn from each other. But that just amazed me, because it's, like I said, the management area is only 4 or 5 miles from here. It's actually closer than that, but he was where the old pipeline is, so it's about 4 miles. And it very well could have been the one that hangs out here. He said after it walked off, he said he sat there probably about an hour. He said, I was just too scared to climb down. I was afraid, as weak as I was, I would fall. And I asked him, I said, did you get hit with any kind of infrasound or anything? He said, no. He said he didn't do anything. He just stared at me. And I said, did you get disoriented or anything? He said, no. He said, but my adrenaline was pumping. I said, well, that's expected, you know. And he said, I can't make my mind up whether I want to go back in the woods or not. He said, what if there's another one out there that's not so friendly? I told him, I said, man, I said, if you'll come on Bigfoot Odyssey or go watch Sasquatch Chronicles, listen to the stories, you get an idea of the percentage that's good and the percentage that's bad. I'm going to be honest with you. From what I know, 90+% of them ain't out to harm you. They're just curious. They're just nosy. But and he's a good drawer. So I asked him. I said, "Will you draw me a picture of it?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "He's gonna try to do it this weekend. If he does, I'll do a video on it and upload it." But the way he explained it looked just like this one. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool story. He don't. I tried to get him to come on and do a story, do like a live interview with me. But he don't even want his voice on video because he works at one of the plants around here, and he knows a few of them that's on my channel, and he don't want them to recognize his voice, and he sure don't want his image on there. So I thought I'd tell the story for him. I'm sure he'll watch this video, and I'm not gonna say his name, but he knows who I'm talking about. So just remember, these things ain't all bad. I know some people have bad experiences, but that don't mean they're all bad. That just goes to show you that there's good in everything, you know. And these have been around here for a long time, since I was a kid. And they watched me grow up. They knew my mom. I have a story I'll tell y'all to some other time about when I was a kid, and a ferocious bulldog walked up out here, and it got sent on its way. Me and my mom was outside and she was hanging up clothes, but it got out of here quick after it growled at us a few times and was coming towards us. And I'll tell y'all that story one day when I get time. But I thought this one was important. I thought I'd share it with y'all, and as I get more stories, I'll share them. So y'all have a good day. God bless y'all, and peace.